Hi and welcome to the One Life Wellbeing podcast, where your well-being always comes first. We're your hosts, Greg, Beran and Chris, and we're here to help you really make the most of your life. We're going to do this by sharing all the best ways to put well-being right at the heart of every day. So join us every week to feel better, to look great, and to start to really enjoy life, because that's what wellness really means. Okay, if you're ready, let's get started. Welcome to the very first session of the One Life Wellbeing podcasts. My name is Greg Parry, and I can't believe it's finally here because we've been waiting for so long to begin this process of sharing information about self-transformation. And really this first podcast is going to give you an introduction to all of the great stuff which we're going to be presenting to you over the coming months. So thank you very much for your patience. I know a lot of you have been waiting because you've been emailing me and asking me for information about when's the podcast going to start, when's it going to be out. And I know that you've been very, very patient, but the fact is we do have a lot of information that we want to share with you. So this marks a very important start to what I hope will be a very important relationship, a way for us to communicate effectively and get across some of the ideas we've discussed, if you know me personally, and also a chance to share it with people who perhaps haven't had a chance to work with us one-on-one in the past, a way for us to really learn how to appreciate how to make life a very special experience. Now, wherever you happen to be listening, I really appreciate it. Today's session is going to be a little bit different from the future podcast because we're going to be making a quick review and introduction of all the material that's going to be presented through the One Life Wellbeing podcasts. I know that there are lots of formalities to observe during these podcasts, but our mission is to make everything clear and simple and really to identify those areas of your life where you feel that you can perhaps make some important changes. We are really involved in the process of transformation, how to make sure that your life really is as rewarding, as fulfilling as possible. Part of our objective is for you to be completely self-expressed. What does that mean? Well, it means learning how to reduce the levels of stress and tension that often affect the quality of your life. We're going to be working a great deal on that subject over the coming months because it's one of the areas that crops up whenever I talk to individuals or groups. And it seems to be one of the major areas of concern that people want to work on. So we'll be looking at your stress, your anxiety, your tension. Perhaps more importantly, we're going to look at some of the habits that have built up over the years that really reinforce all of those little problems that niggle away in the background and which effectively just degrade the quality of life. So that's where we're going to be starting. If you know me from my books or from my blog, from my classes or from any webinars you've attended, I'm really glad that we can get together again because my colleagues and I, we really believe very, very strongly in the value of well-being. It's not just a bland concept, a word we throw around. It's a physical, mental, and emotional expression of how to live your life, the way that nature intended, the way that your body will appreciate the most, the way that produces the most satisfaction, the way that really promotes health. It's about living life to the max, and that's what we're here for. Now, my first observation is that you really can change your life. You really can transform how you are right now. And that means that wherever you're coming from, whether we're talking about your physical health, from the way that you think about life, whether we're discussing your emotional background, we have to believe and understand that everybody, every one of us, can really transform our lives. And that transformation can take place at every level. I've been very, very fortunate to work with some remarkable, inspiring teachers who have been generous enough over the years to share insights and methods, and that's very much part of my motivation to pass on all the amazing stuff that was taught to me, that helped me to transform my life, and that I feel very strongly should be used to help you to transform your life, not in my terms, but in terms which are directly relevant to you. So we know right now the starting point of these amazing podcasts are going to flow over the next few months, that we're not going to give you any ideas about who you should be, because our method is to help you to discover who you really are in your terms, to express health and well-being in ways which are totally relevant to you. And that's going to impact on life across a broad range of categories. We will be talking about stress management, but in practical terms. We are going to be looking at the way that your mind and your body are totally interconnected. We're going to examine emotional health from a very, very profound perspective. Part of our mission is to help you to unleash a lot of the energy that you use to be stressed and unhappy and bored and sometimes just downright scared. We're going to transform that energy into something very, very positive, uplifting, that you can direct and channel to help you to transform your life at every level. It is about personal development, but it's about identifying those areas in your life that really need sometimes a little tweak, sometimes a little bit of help, sometimes some major engineering. And we're here to make that process as easy and simple and comfortable as possible, so that at the end, you just feel so much better, have more control over your life, and get a real sense that you can choose much more about your life than you ever thought possible before. I think what's most important is that I'm really here to help you. For those of you who followed me in my blog, you know that I will do everything I can to help you. Everything I publish, everything that I say on this podcast is designed to help you in any way possible. If you email me, if you leave comments, I guarantee you I'm going to answer, I'm going to respond. If this is the first time that you're listening to me, let me know what you think. Maybe you found me through some kind of podcasting directory, or maybe just a recommendation from friends. And if you want to learn more about me, about One Life Wellbeing, check out my blog. You can get samples of some of the work that I've published. And if you just want to say hi or maybe say hello, then just contact me through Facebook. You can find me on my Facebook page. You can find me at facebook.com/Greg Parry. Too easy, huh? Too easy. Say hi, and I definitely promise that I'll get back to you. We're going to be doing a podcast every week, and because well-being is such a very broad subject, we're going to have a lot of material to discuss and work with. Just to give you a taster, we will be looking at your physical health, how your body functions, and how we can make it feel so much better, particularly in terms of releasing some of the residual stress that gets locked up in your back, your shoulders, well, you know, all the familiar places. But we're going to be looking at your life from the mental and emotional perspective, as I referred to earlier, and you may be surprised that we'll be looking at the quality of your relationships, the way that you relate to other people, to your colleagues, to your family, but most of all, the way you relate to yourself. That might be a surprise, huh? I think you might enjoy those sessions. We're going to be looking at the way that you relate to something as bizarre as money. It's such a big subject in people's lives. We're going to be devoting some of these podcasts to how you can develop a much more positive relationship with this essential energy, this essential element of your lives, to help you feel more comfortable and, who knows, even more successful. We're going to help you to create vision. Vision about how you want to be, who you want to be, where you want to be. This is all part of the great mosaic of real well-being. Not just some esoteric remote subject, but the way that you live your life every day, every hour, every moment. Before I leave you in peace, I want to remind you that well-being comes from within. Yes, I'm here to help you. But this is only going to really work successfully if you are happy enough, comfortable enough, and willing to take the advice and tips we're going to share with you and put them into practice so that you can feel the difference, feel the results every time you use the methods. Just to get you started, you can find the link to an introduction to my relaxation experience recording in the details below. So I want to thank you for joining me for this very first podcast, and I look forward very much to catching up with you next week for the second podcast, which is going to contain some more precise and detailed information on how you can begin to transform your life forever. Thank you.